Welcome to Foot in Mouth, guys. The season is over. It is done and dusted. It's a wrap, and Manchester City are once again champions of England. It did come close, just 1 point separating them and Liverpool, who are going to have to settle for a domestic double, which is nothing to scoff at. I mean, that's something I know I would kill for to see Arsenal pull off, and fans of other clubs, I'm pretty sure, would do the same. Carabao Cup and FA Cup for Jurgen Klopp, as well as a manager of the year, which is debatable. But yeah, it is now the best time of year for any football fan, and of course you know what I'm talking about. More Nations League football. It is of course the transfer window. Last season saw not only a battle for who was going to take the league, but there was a battle on for top 4, there was a battle on for top 6, and now that the top 6 has been decided, I wanted to have a look at how those clubs are going to be moving in the transfer window. Manchester City may be league champions, but they won't be too comfortable or happy with that single point that separated them and Liverpool last season. The one thing that Man City haven't had, which was clear to any football fan, is a striker. Sergio Aguero was obviously a sensation with them, but that was when he was fit and available to play. And while they do have Gabriel Jesus, he hasn't been someone that's relied on by Pep to be, the one to get them the 3 points that they need. And it looks like he solved that problem pretty early in the window with the club announcing the signing of Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez. In Haaland, look, you know what you're getting already. You are getting a proven striker at a top level of football. His dad used to play for City, so he's a bit of a legacy there. He's going to come in with a serious point to prove, because that step from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, that's a big step for any footballer, especially at his age. I'm pretty sure that Pep is excited to integrate him in the team, as well as Alvarez, who looks like a serious prospect. On top of that, you've got Fernandinho and Benjamin Mendy, who are on their way out of the club, so they are going to need to look to bring in a few more bodies than just Haaland and Alvarez. And how they move this window is going to be interesting to see, because they're going to want to extend that gap, and Pep is still chasing that first Champions League win with Man City. Liverpool looks set to announce their first signing of the transfer window in Darwin Núñez, a name that any football fan will be familiar with after the season he had with Benfica, particularly in the Champions League. And in the Champions League, Liverpool and Benfica went head-to-head over 2 legs, and the striker impressed, and clearly impressed enough for Klopp to be convinced of his ability. One thing Liverpool are not famous for is signing misses. The one thing that I've been impressed by with that club is that they sign hits only. And look at Luis Diaz. That's another dude that came in Jan that just looks like such a talent. Hit the ground running, absolutely fits into Liverpool's system, as does any signing they make, and I don't think it's going to be any different with Darwin Núñez. Kind of like Haaland, this is another guy that you're getting who you're getting a goal scorer. At the very least, what you're getting is a goal scorer. This man is going to be a threat. The Premier League is a physical league, but he is definitely capable of holding his own and making a big difference for this Liverpool side, who are going to be without Sadio Mane. I guess, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but the player himself has said he's open to a new challenge, and Bayern Munich are knocking. So with him going out and Darwin Núñez coming in, I think Liverpool fans can still be just as optimistic going forward. Chelsea finished 3rd last season, but what they did manage to do is get themselves some new owners. And these new owners are going to want to make a big splash to kickstart the beginning of a new era. Chelsea definitely had a mixed season. 3rd place was good. They had some seriously entertaining games in the Champions League, which I think their fans will be quite proud of, considering the circumstances they were playing under all season. Everything was up in the air at that club, but the players pulled through, the coach pulled through. They find themselves in the Champions League, and these new owners are going to want to make these fans happy, man. The club's already been linked to players like Neymar, which shows intent, and whether that transfer materializes or not, I don't know, but it at least shows they're looking in the right places. And with Lukaku crying out for a move back to Inter Milan, they're going to have to replace him. Maybe Neymar is the man, maybe it's someone else, but not only that, they also have to look at tying down the long-term futures of some stars like Reece James and Mason Mount, who both had really good seasons. They are key components to this Chelsea team, and Real Madrid is already looking at Reece James, so they may have to prioritize that in the early stages, but they are definitely going to be busy in this transfer window. Raheem Sterling also linked to the club, so that'll be interesting. Let's see what they do. Antonio Conte came to Spurs and did exactly what he was paid to do by getting them a place in the top 4. Those January signings definitely proving all the difference, with Kulusevski and Bentancur joining from Juventus, both in initial loans, but I'm pretty sure both of them are going to be made permanent. Who wouldn't sign them down after the performances they put in since joining in just January? Now they're going to have a full pre-season together. They're going to have a full season under Conte going forward, and who knows who's going to be playing with them. They've already signed Ivan Perisic, which in my opinion is a classic Conte signing. You know, you're getting a guy who's going to be an instant impact player. He's got experience at the top level. It's going to be quite an influence on the younger players coming up at Spurs, and I'm pretty sure he's going to add a real threat to this Tottenham team. With the club also announcing an injection of £150 million, I'm pretty sure that's Daniel Levy saying, I am backing Antonio Conte this season and I am giving him all the resources that he needs to keep this rebuild going. I'm quite interested to see what he gets out of that 150 in this market. You know, we saw last season Arsenal spend 150 mil on a group of promising up-and-coming talent, and Conte don't move like that. Conte doesn't like the youth side of things. He wants some star players. He's a serial winner. He wants to get guys that are going to make a difference right now. And in this market, it's going to be interesting to see who he goes for and what he can get for it, especially now that every club knows you guys have an extra 150 million to spend. Manchester United invested heavily last season already and made their intentions clear, but it didn't quite work out. Although Ronaldo did have a stellar season, the defensive partner they hoped they find for Maguire in Varane didn't turn out quite so well. And look, I put it down mostly to injuries. But Jadon Sancho also took a bit longer than I think most football fans expected to get used to the Premier League. Look, nonetheless, it is time for change at Old Trafford, and they've got a new manager in Erik ten Hag, and with the new manager comes new players. It's pretty clear for any football fan to see the problems at United, and defense is definitely up there with midfield, and the club's already been linked with players like Julian Timber at Ajax, what I think is a smart move, because Ten Hag is already familiar with him from his time at Ajax, so he'd be able to integrate him into his philosophy and his style of play very easily at United. Not only that, but they're also looking at Frenkie de Jong at Barcelona. Now, Barcelona are obviously in a sticky situation financially, and it looks like United are going to benefit a little bit from that. It's going to be a hefty sum, so it's going to be interesting to see how comfortable they are with parting with that money, but Ten Hag is in a demand excellence, man. He's not coming in here to mess around with second choice and third choice options. He's going to want who he wants, and it's down to the board to show that they support him and get him the players that he needs. On top of that, you know, you've got Paul Pogba leaving, you've got Matic leaving, and you've got Jesse Lingard leaving, so there is space in this club. I'm pretty sure those players want high wages, so you get them off the wage bill, you open up some room for, you know, some young talent to be promoted to the senior team maybe, or you just go out into the market and fill those spaces with new players. You know, Donny van de Beek's also going to have a bit of a new signing feel under Ten Hag, and he's definitely, I think, more than most United players, he's probably looking forward to the changes that he's about to bring to the club. So yeah, let's see how they move. Arsenal got themselves back into Europe last season, and while it's not the Champions League, it is Europa League, which it's still a sign of progress. When you look at how they landed up in Europa League football, that's a little bit of a painful one to talk about, because I mean, we had it in the palm of our hands, man, with 3 games in hand as well, and yeah, it just fell away. When it counted, the team could not pull through, and I put that down to inexperience and lack of squad depth. And from the sounds of things, that's exactly what Arteta is going to see to this transfer window. We spent big last season, and I think that the big spending is going to continue this season, especially since Aubameyang is now gone and Lacazette's gone, and there's going to be a bunch of players joining them on the way out. So there's definitely room for new additions. We've also got players coming back in. William Saliba is coming back to the club. Hector Bellerin and Lucas Torreira are coming back from their loan spells, but they're probably going to be moved on as well. And yeah, it's just down to Arteta on how to replace them. From the sounds of things, he's moving into the next phase of his rebuild. He's bought in the youth, he's bought in the prospects, and now he's looking to bring in some talent that is ready-made to help elevate what he's already started building. Lack of Champions League football might sound like it's a disadvantage, but the club did say that the failure to achieve it didn't affect their summer transfer plan. So from the sounds of things, everything is still on track. They are being linked to a bunch of players, namely Yuri Tielemans at Leicester and Gabriel Jesus. And that's going to be interesting because both players have expressed their interest in playing for Champions League Football Club. But, you know, money talks. And one thing Arsenal can do for them is increase their wages and give them Europa League football. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can close these deals. I'd want to do it quite early because I don't think that interest in them is going to be this small another week or two into this transfer window. You know, both players are quality players and they can add something to any club out there. But with the World Cup coming up, not only does money talk, but game time talks. And Arsenal can offer either of them or any of their other targets a lot more of that than any Champions League club, I think. So yeah, guys, that's a look at what I've seen happening among the top 6 in the Premier League so far. There's going to be so much more to talk about in the next coming weeks. We haven't even began to touch on the work that's being done at Newcastle and Aston Villa. And yeah, you know, as time goes on, once these players come back from international duty, I think you're going to see a lot more moves being made. I think preseason starts in like 2 weeks. These players are getting next to no rest. That's a problem on its own. We will talk about that another day. But right now we are talking transfers. Let me know what you'd like to see from your club this season. Let me know if you guys like this video by giving it a like, you know, subscribing to the channel. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.